Hey guys, what's going on, friends and family? This video is going to be a little bit quieter because I'm exhausted. The entire trip was so intense and I flew pretty far, but I mean, like, just the energy levels, right? Just hanging out with these content creators, playing this new hype game, and also I was really focused on streaming, so hopefully you guys caught that. We are really focusing on Twitch starting soon, so YouTube changes. I'm not a fan of the algorithm changes, so we're doing a lot of Twitch stuff. But just please forgive me for this video. I need to get this out here. There's a lot of people just spamming videos very comfortably. They were just watching the press event, outside perspective and everything. And a lot of people who were at the event are going to be making more analytical videos on the game first, because that's what people want to eat up, even though we actually still don't know shit. We don't know shit really. But what I can do is I can give you a video that maybe kind of helps translate what you are going to be seeing soon or have already seen. And basically this is going to be a review of the press event. Hopefully, as an emissary of Bless, I'm allowed to say some criticisms here, because these little things that I had a problem with here for this event are also kind of hindering new players to get into Bless, because immediately what I can say is when I play the dungeons, I think everybody was having a blast. Like, people were screaming and yelling and smiling, big ol' stupid grins. We were all having fun with, I think, most of the classes. Most people, they started kind of falling into certain roles. Some people really like the healing, some people really like the Zerker, and people were definitely starting to feel it and jam to it and start to pick roles and kind of, theory craft, and they were getting into, like, just that's it. They're like, we were diving into it. But the thing is, we didn't get enough time with it, and we definitely didn't get enough time to really broadcast that, share that, or with good enough quality. And to an extent, that's kind of our fault, but to an extent, it's going to lie on the overall press event staff as well. We weren't really prepared. We didn't know exactly the etiquette. We didn't know the timing exactly. We only had like 20 minutes to stream at a time on a PC, or something like that. I don't know. It was, some people were able to stream some other things. It was just give and take, and so the footage that you're going to be watching is basically going to be B-roll kind of that they just sent us from the email. But I'm gonna talk to you guys about the actual event, okay? So it was amazing. Actually going out and playing it, it was so fun. It was so cool to meet people. I really liked Thor. I thought Thor was awesome. It's Ziz, the bearded gamer. Dude, I can actually just go down the list of everybody that was there, essentially. Everyone was super cool, super chill. Even some people that were kind of like direct competitors of mine. Some people would say peers, but to me, I've always looked at everyone as like frenemies to an extent, and I've always kept my distance. But this was the first time where I actually tried to collaborate, and I was right there on their streams. I was getting shouted out in front of thousands of people like, hey, this is Skylent, and I was like, oh dude, you're too nice. It's Ziz paid for my food. So like, the experience of actually going out there and playing with people face to face is something awesome, and I really wish that more games did that. The hotel was super nice. They didn't skip on that. The actual city was pretty friendly. A lot of homeless though. What a tragedy. But San Francisco, pretty interesting, eclectic city, definitely. And I ate some world-class food. I had fun all in all. I was doing some IRL streams. We had some good viewers. Hopefully you saw that. So my overall experience of this, like, I feel like I was treated well. I feel like I was treated really good. I didn't feel left out, even though I really am kind of a black sheep. Especially as the kind of YouTuber that I am, and while most of the people there were streamers. But I was trying to get into streaming, I was trying to get in Twitch, and I was telling these guys this, and they were giving me tips and tricks, and they were telling me what they do, and it was just so friendly, it was so awesome. And I have to tell you that, going into this, my bias. But even with all that hype, there were some issues. Actually, we were so excited to play the game that when we got into the game, really all that was left was to explore it, right? Like we all wanted to explore it, but we couldn't. We were met with so many limitations. And I'm gonna keep saying we, because I'm pretty sure anything I say with this is gonna echo with everyone else. It's basically that, okay, we got to do one dungeon, and not everyone really got to complete the dungeon because like the computers kept turning off or whatever, and we were thrown into not a super low level dungeon, but not a high end game dungeon. And we were thrown into a dungeon with a lot of abilities that we had no idea, a whole new combat system. We had no idea what was going on. Some people weren't like dedicated MMO players. I think most were though. And at the same time, a lot of us have not even played Bless in the least. Regardless, I was able to jump in, and I was immediately, even something as intricate and complicated as the Paladin class, I was able to I was doing the do, even though I never healed before. Because to an extent, it was intuitive, but there was also some issues like we couldn't just instantly read tooltips, we were just thrown into dungeons, we were just thrown into the fray, but to an extent that was also kind of fun. But other than the dungeon and being thrown into that and that experience, everything else was like super weird. Like if you try to go into the open world stuff, obviously the open world was culled for performance stuffs. We couldn't see the cash shop, we couldn't see a lot of the stuff that would be in the game. We had very small little cuts into the game, you know, very small little pockets of gameplay to actually check out and play. And I don't know if you guys saw my stream. I only had 20 minutes to stream like the dedicated footage. Basically, I had enough time to scroll over some skills of the Guardian, and I ran through like, I don't know, maybe 10% of a quest line, something like that. I got to see a cutscene and some voice acting, so that's cool. But like, I don't know. What we could do is there was like 10 PCs for 2 parties. So you can do a party of 5, and it had like each class, and we could go and do the 1 dungeon. And you just do the 1 dungeon a couple times. I think there's like 3 bosses with that, and it was cool. That was fun. I really liked that. Then you can go into the character creator, make a new character, do the early game leveling experience. So some people did that. Tickety talked about that on their streams and had, I don't know, some people were having a cool time. And then I think there was another PC that had like, they were higher level and like level 40, 45 maybe even. And like I saw a guy with a mount, but he wasn't actually in the end game areas. So the open world didn't have everything, and people were just kind of slogging around because there was no insta travel. We didn't start with any mounts either. We had to tame them, and I don't know, it was all in all like we couldn't do. Oh yeah, and there was no PvP. So in a PvP MMO, not letting us duel was weird. So in terms of the snippets of gameplay that you saw, basically, I think you could almost ignore every bit of footage aside from if you can watch. I think somebody did stream a dungeon, a full dungeon run. Hopefully they did. I know somebody tried it. I really wish they just let everyone just stream the whole thing all the time. You know, that'd be awesome. I wish that they had 2 PCs set up for dueling with all the different classes. That would have been sick too. And we did have some technical difficulties, you know, here and there, which limited our time to an extent, which kind of sucked. So you guys didn't get to see everything. But I think there were some people that, yeah, actually the Bearded Gamer, he wasn't even playing the game. He was just, you know, IRL streaming and trying to show off the game and you know, doing interviews. I definitely was on there a lot. And I was trying to tell people that, you know, hey, the rotational gameplay is pretty fun, actually, yeah. But, you know, that's another video where we really digest the gameplay. But the thing here is that, just know that the press event, when I went there, I had fun. You know, I can't, the Blessed team, thank you so much. It was so cool. Thank you. And I do want to continue playing the game because the gameplay was cool when I played the dungeon. But the actual publishing, you know, to the outside world and what they watched, what you guys watched, that's not the, I know that's not the same experience that I had. And obviously, you know, I've been wined and dined, as Fever said. You know, I had my hotel paid for. But that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is literally you guys just didn't get to see the actual game play. Like, you didn't get a good snippet of it. You didn't get a good long look like we did. We got to play it, you know, with so much more variety. We got to play it so much more seriously, and we talked about it so much more in depth with the developers. So we have a much clearer picture, and there's just no one concise video that actually shows everything. There's some videos out there that say the highlights of the press event, and that's actually completely bullshit. You're not seeing like whenever Thor, I remember he was actually fighting a boss and they all wiped at the, you know, the boss was at 1%. They almost beat it, but they wiped because the paladin he didn't have any attacks. He didn't know how to do it. You know, the mage was out of mana. And it showed that they needed to control their resources, and it showed that they really needed to focus on cooldowns. And, you know, the game actually took skill. Actually, we wiped a lot. And you're not going to see a video of everyone wiping constantly. You're not going to see that because that actually made the experience. Like, whenever we wiped, it was like, oh my god, that was epic, dude, that was so close. Because each of the bosses had cool gimmicks. You know, somebody wasn't doing their job, and it just shows that the game actually had difficulty. Or like, sometimes a boss would do a giant AoE, and since the game is more of like a stick and move kind of game, somebody would be doing a big charge up attack, and they wouldn't be able to move because, you know, they were noobish, right? And then like 3 different people get smacked, insta-gibbed actually. So yeah, there's a lot of insta-gibbing in the game, but I don't think you're gonna see a lot of footage of that. Again, you're not gonna see all of these events all together. I don't think anybody's just gonna make a compilation of everybody wiping. it's just, you know, there's too many streams, too many angles, too many times to really show that off. But like the whole experience, if you were there and you saw all of the gameplay, you would know like how cool this stuff is. You would see so much. And of course, my future videos will be dissecting that and talking about it. But I kind of just wanted to do, you know, a really lazy video because I'm fucking tired. But I wanted to do a video to just say that the press event and what you guys saw, there's a disconnect, 100%. I very much doubt that any emissary would disagree with me. There is a disconnect, and it's creating a lot of salt. A lot of people are taking clips completely out of context. I know there's one clip out there that is making emissaries look really bad, maybe a few of them. There's a lot of clips that are kind of twisting what developers were saying. There's so many things that are just like nitpicking here and there, and they're not really getting the full picture. So hopefully as emissaries together, and you start watching all these videos, you know, over these months, or this month, I guess, and consecutively, then you start to get a bigger picture of what the game is trying to do, and what the game community is actually trying to create here. But at the moment, the press event was awkward. In some cases, it was cringy. And the whole system where like everyone was IRL streaming, we didn't know we were going to have to be forced to use our phones. Some people never IRL streamed before. And we were thinking we were going to be able to more readily get footage. You know, we thought we were going to get more B-roll, like actual good B-roll. We thought we were going to be on dedicated computers streaming more. Yeah, we weren't really prepared. And to an extent, that is our faults as content creators. But to an extent, the organizers. I think for the next events, especially for PAX coming up, that's going to be a big push. We're going to need something a little bit more, you know, our itinerary needs to be way more clear, more defined. And that's only going to help people know how cool the game is. So yeah, right here, just real quick, the game is cool, you know, that I played. The one dungeon that we got to play, I wish we got to do PvP, and I wish we got to do some other things, but my overall event, my experience, it was really cool. And I just wish I could have translated that better. Of course, that's on me to an extent as a streamer, and I'm going to take responsibility for that. And to my peers who were there, I guess we could have done better. We could have networked a little bit better and tried to have better content. Maybe we could have compiled some stuff and collaborated better and shared it out. We'll own that. But I think the Blessed team also needs to own it a little bit, that this event was maybe a bit too costly for the reward. In fact, it just kind of fueled a salt fire. So hopefully from this coming month, maybe my peers and we can kind of clarify what's really going to happen in the game. Obviously, that's like the goal of everyone else. But I wanted to make this video and say, hey, what you guys watched, you know what? It was actually a lot more fun than maybe it looks, because, you know, just the quality of the streams, the way it was broadcast, what's been shared and what's being talked about, it's just like a lot of misinformation or just scattered information. And we as content creators need to step up the game. So sorry for the lazy video. Tomorrow I'm going to be on that grind, and we are going to be streaming much more. And the content creation is going to be, for at least this next week, is going to be a lot of Blessed content. So hopefully you look forward to that. Hopefully you're okay with this really brutally honest video. And hopefully I don't lose Emissary, because I am kind of critiquing this. And hopefully you guys still trust me, even though I'm a shill. Yeah. So much love, guys, friends and family. Hopefully to see you in the next one. My name's Skylent. Bye-bye.